Good morning, fifth graders. My name is Julia Berg. I'm the Director of Communication and Education here at the Foss Waterway Seaport. So I am so happy to see you all this morning. It seems like people are coming in. And this is our 2021 virtual salmon release. So let's start out with a little bit of drone footage. And this is going to show you what the seaport looks like. So first, it's just water. We are on the waterfront, guys. And I want to, again, welcome all of our live viewers on Facebook and YouTube. And also anybody that's watching this after the fact recorded. You can still check out the comments. So we are in the Balfour Dock building right here on the Foss Waterway, 121 years old. We have some docks that you can come visit if you're a boater. We have our science education program, which is what you're participating in now. We have a maritime history museum, as you can see here, a working boat shop. We're an event center. Really anything that has to do with the water in Tacoma, we are into it. So right now, I would like to introduce to you Kayla Ariano, who is going to share with you a little bit more about us and introduce you to our salmon.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kayla Ariano, and I am coming to you from the beautiful Foss Waterway Seaport. Foss Waterway Seaport building is 121 years old. It used to store wheat back in the day. Wheat was brought in by rail on the railroads, and then it was shipped out on the other side of the building by sail.
The Foss Waterway Seaport acknowledges that our facility is specifically situated on the traditional homeland of the Puyallup tribe of Indians, past and present. We honor with gratitude the land itself and the Puyallup tribe. This acknowledgement does not take the place of authentic relationships with Indigenous communities, but serves as a first step in honoring the land we are on. We will make intentional efforts to create inclusive and respectful partnerships that honor Indigenous cultures, histories, identities, and socio-political realities. We also have a moral responsibility to fully acknowledge our Indigenous connections, as well as critically reflect on the histories of dispossession and forced removal that have allowed for the growth and survival of our institution. Let us continue to advocate for and partner with our Indigenous neighbors as we continue our lifelong work together as a dynamic and inclusive community.
In case you haven't been here before, I'm going to show you around. This is our touch tank area. Ooh. And this is our classroom exploration area. And look at this cool yearling humpback whale skeleton. These are your Coho salmon.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Kayla. So, you guys just got a look, and some of our students that I've watching today have definitely seen them before, but these are our little salmon. So they came from Voight's Creek Hatchery. They are Coho salmon, and today we are going to be releasing them in Swan Creek Park. So if you've never been there, that's in the center of the map right here. The Foss Waterway Seaport is kind of just a little bit above where it says that word Tacoma. So I am so excited that we're finally going to be getting to release the salmon. So if you're not a student, then you might not know that these students have been working on this project in various pieces of it since January, learning about ROVs and learning how to explore the Salish Sea. So we've been releasing salmon at the Foss Waterway Seaport here for a number of years, but this year the program got quite a bit bigger as we were invited to work with the SeaDoc Society and some other community partners that you're going to meet in just a minute. So first of all, I'd like to introduce you to Mira Castle, the education coordinator for the SeaDoc Society, and she's going to tell you a little bit more about what we've all been up to.
My name is Mira Lutz Castle. I work with the SeaDoc Society, as in sea doctors. We are scientists, wildlife veterinarians, and a great team of Salish Sea heroes who take actions to help the Salish Sea, our home. Thanks to our hatcheries, our community partners, and even some of you are raising baby Coho salmon right now. Here they are, last winter, hatching and wiggling in the water for their very first time. How cute are they? You could even pick one and give it a name. Write it in your student journal. Your babies need to be released in a Coho salmon safe stream this spring. So we have a problem to solve. You can help by determining a safe release site for our Coho salmon.
All right, so that was Mira explaining kind of what we've been up to. So we had all of these community partners, and you can see some of them listed on the left there: the Tacoma Nature Center, the Foss Waterway Seaport, Pierce Conservation District, Orcas Love Raingardens, in addition to Tacoma Public Schools, SeaDoc Society, and the main funder for this project, Mitsubishi. So it's just been an amazing, amazing experience. So each of the community partners went out to the same spots in the stream, which we call Site 1, Site 2, and Site 3, and did all these tests. And I'm not going to show you all of them because that would take forever, but I wanted to introduce you to each site and show you a little bit of all the hard work that everybody's been doing. So we're going to start with the Pierce Conservation District, who did something really cool, which is called a macro invertebrate survey. And if you have never heard of it, here is Chris to tell you a little bit more. So this is Site 1.
Hi, fifth graders, it's Chris back with you. We're here at Swan Creek again, and for this research component, we're going to be looking at macroinvertebrates. And macroinvertebrates are small creatures that live in streams and lakes and rivers. They often live at the bottom of the streams, clinging to rocks and logs. They're things like insect larvae and crustaceans and worms, and they're important when it comes to salmon. One, they're a food source for young salmon as they're making their way out to Puget Sound in the ocean. And two, they can tell us how clean the water they're living in is. And that's because they can tolerate different levels of pollution. Some are very sensitive and they can't handle dirty, polluted water, while others can handle water as it gets more polluted, more dirty. Your job is to look at the data from each site and based on which macroinvertebrates we find, decide which site is going to be the best release point for your salmon.
So obviously we would have preferred to take students out to the stream and do this in person, hopefully next year, right, students? But instead, we were able to do this virtually. And Pierce Conservation District put together something called a story map, which has all this data in it. So if you're interested in learning more and seeing all the amazing things that came out of this project, we're going to go ahead and drop that link into the comments for you so that you can check that out. So that was macroinvertebrates at Site 1, which is one of the options that the students had to vote on. Now, they already voted, but they don't know who won yet. That's a surprise. That's coming next, okay? So we took a look at macroinvertebrates in Site 1. Okay, so now for Site 2, we're actually going to use what the Foss Waterway Seaport did, which was water quality testing. So I'm going to walk you through that. Then we'll introduce you to Site 3, and then it's time for the release. All right, so almost there, guys. Let's check out Site 2. Okay, so Site 2 is a little bit different. It is a pond, actually, a sediment pond. And if you've ever been to Swan Creek Park, you've probably seen this. It's pretty distinctive right when you walk in from the Pioneer entrance. So it's not too far from Site 1, but it's very different. Site 1 is a stream, and Site 2 is this pond environment with this thick sediment on the bottom. So again, students looked at all kinds of different parameters to try to decide if this would be the best place to release their salmon. So here we are doing some of our tests. This is for dissolved oxygen, which I'm sure you all know fish need to breathe too, right? So it's pretty important that we make sure that the water is cool and clean and clear with plenty of oxygen for fish to breathe. And students were able to look at a meter like this, virtually of course, and see, wow, what great dissolved oxygen at this site. We also tested things like temperature. That's Dr. Jen Conlon, who you'll meet in just a minute. Salmon like the water to be pretty cold. We did things like pH, which I'm sure all of you students have learned about a lot, but it's really important for salmon. There are so many different things that go into making sure that we're putting them in the healthiest spot possible. And then also we were looking at turbidity. So all of our 5th graders did our brainy briny shrimp projects. And so you guys know about turbidity, and you can put that in the comments if you remember using that little Secchi stick, remember, to figure out how clear the water is. And the water at these sites, all of them, was actually really, really clear. And then we also sent home nitrate strips. And so students were able to try their own water quality testing at home. And if you've never used that before, they look like that. So that is kind of our little introduction there to Site 2, which is the pond site. All right, and now we're going to move upstream for the very last site, which was way, way upstream, very far away, Site 3. And let's take a look at that. It's pretty different.
Hi everybody, I'm standing here at Site 3, the upper site at Swan Creek. We've measured the riparian area, and though there's not much of a canopy and there's a lot of invasives in it, it does extend 20 meters, 22 meters, and 18 meters until it hits a grassy lawn on the far side. The current survey conditions are we are right next to a road and surrounded by private property, so in order to stay off of that private property, we're actually going to be setting up 2 transect lines. We'll give a moment for the cars. Sites, or quadrats, 1, 2, and 3 will be on 1 transect, and then next to that, 5 meters away, will be quadrats 4, 5, and 6. Go ahead and take a look at your assigned quadrat and fill in your table.
So again, special thanks to all these awesome community partners who took this real science and did it virtually for students so that without ever having to leave home, they could figure out the best place to release their salmon this year. So as you can see, wow, lots and lots of work done by these community partners so that students could do this. And in the end, they voted. So all 35 elementary schools were involved in this project, and they do not know, there I can see them all there on YouTube and Facebook waiting to find out where are we going to release the salmon. So I want to thank you first to all of our students and teachers for all of your hard work with this project. Okay, so it's time for the drum roll. Let's see if I can do a drum roll. Which site are we going to release the salmon? Is it Site 1 with the flowing stream? Is it Site 2 with the pond? Or is it Site 3 way upstream? Let's check it out. Okay, first let's look at these votes that came in. So different community partners had different schools voting on different things. Here's one example: stream complexity and macroinvertebrates. You can see that there is quite a spread because depending on which test you were looking at, the answer was different, right? But when we took it all together and put it all together, this is what we came up with by percentage. Site 1 wins. So that means it's time to introduce you to our stream team who is actually at Site 1 right now with the salmon. It looks like they're ready. Okay, Jen, I'm going to bring you in. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Julia. We are here at beautiful Swan Creek at Site 1, ready to release some salmon. So I'm going to turn you around and show you everybody who's here with me. We have people from Pierce Conservation and Foss Waterway Seaport. So on my left, I have Phil here operating our underwater ROV. And Chris and his daughter, Austin, Chris is from Pierce Conservation District. Leica and her husband Brandon. Leica's from Pierce Conservation District. They're going to get us our first fish to release. And Jeff is also from Foss Waterway Seaport, our facilities coordinator. Leica and Brandon, would you start pulling some fish while I show them the fish in our bucket? Can you guys see our salmon, our baby salmon? They're ready.
That looks great, Jen.
All right, and I see Leica and Brandon have our first fish ready. We're going to walk down to the stream. I'm going to move you guys. Can I pan around and show you how beautiful?
The video is very clear, Jen, and so is the audio. It looks great.
Great. All right, Brandon is here. I'm going to we have a couple different spots to release, so take it away, Brandon.
All right, so we have a couple of different angles of this. As you see, we have some other cameras because we know it's kind of hard to see. This is all being done with a cell phone, actually, out at the creek. So let me go ahead and show you what that looks like from another angle. We'll just take the stream team out there for a second. And let's take a look at what that looks like from the top. There it goes. The very first salmon. Off you go. So we also have an underwater drone that is going to be recording. So starting with the next one, we'll be able to show you a little bit of footage of that as well. All right, Jen, are you ready for your next one? We're going to go ahead and bring you back in.
We are, hold on, we are here. There's Chris and Austin, and we're ready.
Guys. Oh, I wish I was there, but someone has to be here clicking. I also want to let you know, oh, there it goes. Goodbye, fish. That was awesome. I also want to let you know that we have Leslie, who is on here remotely helping us out on the back end. Okay, let's see if we can get some underwater footage of that. Let's check this out. All right, drone, let's see how you're doing. So you can see the other fish that was released before right there under that stick. Ha, so cute. And in a minute here, we should see the cup start to come from the top, and that second fish, there we go, swim free. The fish are really, really big this year. Oh, it's so cute. I can hear you all screaming over the internet, but I'm just here in the museum by myself, so it's kind of quiet. All right, so that was 2 fish. They are so cute, and they look very happy. All right, so let's bring Jen back in, and let's get ready for our third fish. Who do we have for this one, Jen?
All right, we have my son, Matthew, and his aunt.
Awesome.
They're coming down.
They're coming down. So unfortunately, because of COVID restrictions, obviously we are not allowed to have any students at the stream, but we are really looking forward to hopefully being able to do that next year with all of our 5th graders. So
here they are.
Woo!
And that one's up.
That one is off. Okay, so let's take a look at, I don't know, let's see if we have another angle. And there you can see 2 fish right there. And that third one should be coming in a minute here. Look at them. They're so cute with their little faces. They seem pretty happy there. And if you look around in some of these videos, we should be able to see some of those macroinvertebrates that we were talking about. Okay, there it goes. And come on out of the cup now. There we go. And we are off. Okay. So Jen, are you ready to release your 4th single fish? And then after this, guys, we have a lot of fish to release. So we're going to start doing them in buckets. Well, it's going to be fun. We are back in, and she is going out onto there. She cannot hear us right now. And she has, I don't know how many salmon are in that bucket. Quite a few. Looks like there's a little bit of a glare. Whoa, that's a lot. All right, so she is going to let the ghost go. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful day. And we also have some footage of what this might look like underwater, because it is, again, very hard to see from the top. But there they go. They're free. Okay, let's take a look at what that looks like. Ooh, I think I see some macroinvertebrates crawling along on the bottom there. Oh, and here comes the bucket. And that is a lot of fish. And out they go, looking so happy and cute. The underwater drone that we're using, if anyone's wondering, is called a Trident, made by So Far Ocean, and it's owned by a nonprofit, another nonprofit that's letting us borrow it. And there they go, swimming off to be with the other fish. They kind of went over towards where the other ones were. Okay, and then we're going to need to move our drone to a second location because we're going to now move a little bit farther down the log. So while they're doing that, I wanted to talk a little bit about, well, first of all, I wanted to check and see if we have any questions. So let me click over. Have you guys put any questions in the comments? Mostly just everybody saying hello. All right, well, if you have any questions about what's happening, you can put them in the comments and I will answer them. I don't think any of them are really bigger than each other. We've been feeding them 4 times a day, which has been really exciting. And what I will share with you is, so these are hatchery salmon. They came from Voights Creek Hatchery, right? So when they are released from the hatchery, I'm wondering if anybody knows, how do you tell the difference between a hatchery fish and a regular wild salmon? Just by looking at it, there's a way. If any of you like to go out and go fishing, you can, there is a way that you can tell. So what type of salmon did you release? These are Coho or silver salmon. So we've released a few singles and some larger ones in a bucket. Yes. Chop de fin, that is correct, green squirrel. And I'm just going to show you a short video that we got to take that's going to explain a little bit about what that means. So let me go ahead and share that with you while we are waiting for them to move things around.
My name's Grant Lee. I'm with the Northwest Indian Fisheries Commission. Right now we are adipose clipping all the hatchery Chinook. There's about a little over 1 million probably Chinook to get through. These are just the raceways all the Chinook are kept in. So this is our fish pump, and then this will pump them up into here. So they end up in there. So they'll all try and fight to get into this little corner. Fish comes in. It gets to the end, it trips a sensor, it'll set a padded clamp so it'll close down on it, and it arches that fish's back. And we have to sort them by length because hopefully that adipose fin will be in that window. And it'll take a before picture, clip the fin, and then take an after picture. This was run pretty well, you might not see an error, but if it leaves a little too much of the fin, it'll fail it, and it'll get kicked into a bucket, and those will get done by hand also.
Adipose fin clipping is part of a 2-step process that helps scientists and fisheries identify and distinguish between wild salmon and hatchery salmon. The other half of the process involves the injection of a small piece of wire with a unique numerical identification code on it. The tags are so small, you actually need a special scope just to see the numbers on them.
We'll pump them into the trailer, and they'll run through our machines, they'll get counted, measured, and get their adipose fin clipped off. And then they'll go into these 2 nature spawns here. So there'll be 500,000 probably in this pond and 500,000 in the next pond. Well, these are Clarks Creek stock, so they just get released from here and they come right back. These fish here will return here in 4 to 5 years.
These specialty trailers have really streamlined the process of tagging salmon for release.
dance into the music. So a couple of questions came in from there. Does clipping the adipose fin hurt the fish? So I was actually out there when we made that video at the tagging trailer, and no, they actually seem to tolerate it really well. That's why they do it when they're so small. And also it looks like Leslie is answering some of the other questions in there about what it's like keeping our salmon in a tank. So keep those coming. And Stream Team, I am going to bring you back in. It looks like we are ready to release another bucket. Hi, guys. Hi, Phil. He can't hear me,
Hi,
of course.
Phil. You want to wave, Phil? All right, Phil's ready with a bucket. This is our last bucket of fish we're going to do upstream, and then we're going to move on and do a few downstream of the log.
Ooh, that's a great view, yeah. There they go. Be free.
All right, and we can keep right on going. We have another bucket ready with Jeff,
Perfect.
who's ready to go. He's going to go downstream. So that's this log here. We're moving downstream of that log, and we're going to release over here in the downstream section.
And those logs are really interesting. At one point, scientists thought that salmon needed really clear streams. And so there was a movement where they were taking all the logs out of the streams a long time ago so that it would be clear for the salmon to go up. But that turned out to be not such a great idea because salmon need resting pools. So these days, we're putting the logs back in the streams. And you can see that here, called the restoration log. And so, because normally, naturally, right, there would be a few fallen logs here and there. So that creates these really great pools and places for the salmon to rest. And it looks like, who do we have there? Is that Jeff?
This is Jeff.
Ooh, right
here
into
he's going right into that stream, get some running water.
Off they go. All right, that's awesome.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. And I think we'll
have
one
Lake ready with the last
bucket.
And we're going to try to put that over where we have our underwater drone again.
Perfect. And we'll show some footage of that. And this is it. This is the last one. Oh my gosh. Now, these are in such a good spot. I imagine if you head down to Swan Creek, you know, maybe with your family, you might be able to maybe see some of these guys hanging out, because we were releasing, how many fish are we at, Jen, releasing? 98, is that right?
94.
94. All right, I'm going to take myself out for a second. Awesome. And there they go. Okay, now I have a couple of other views of that last one. So I'm going to go ahead and share those with you. So this is the above from a different camera. And again, these are our very last fish for the day. And then let's take a look. This is the underwater footage from below the log there. So you can see we've moved the drone into a different spot. And whoa, look at those in the bottom. Anybody see those macroinvertebrates right down there at the bottom? Who studied macroinvertebrates? Anybody know what those are? We will go out to the stream team, but to me, they look like katydids. Okay, so in a minute, you are going to see the bucket coming in. Here it comes. Ooh, there they go. Ooh, they're fast. Oh, and they're off. And they are out of there. Oh, they're so cute. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. And there they go. They are off. Oh, there's another macroinvertebrate. Oh, they're back. Oh, they're gone. Well, everybody, I think that is it. Oh, nope, there's another one. I think that is the very end of our salmon release. So thank you to all of our students and all of our teachers. And I also want to briefly I want to thank a lot more people, but first, Mira, who had a really big part in this from SeaDoc Society, she has a special message for you before we go. So I'm going to go ahead and play that for you.
To you and the Seaport team, your babies are swimming wild and free for the first time in their lives today. Who knows, your salmon may even end up as a meal for a baby killer whale in a few years. And you have just become Salish Sea heroes. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mira. And it has just been so wonderful working with all of these community partners that I've mentioned before. I want to thank our funders. I want to thank our salmon volunteers. Also, Westrock, who sponsored our live salmon cam this year. And I'm going to bring the stream team back in for a minute in case so that they can say goodbye to you before we sign off.
Oh, saying goodbye.
All right. You want to say everybody want to wave goodbye? Bye. Goodbye, stream team. Good work. They thought they were done.
Where's everybody?
Where's everybody? There you go. Bye. Goodbye, Sam. Can you guys still see any in the stream? Or do they pretty much go off and hide?
Yeah, we can see a couple.
Yeah, they're still hanging out. All right. Well, maybe we'll head down there later. That's okay. All right. So I just want to, my biggest thank you goes out to all the teachers and administrators at all these schools. It has been a difficult year for everyone, and we are so happy to still be bringing hands-on science education to these schools with the help of all these amazing partners and funders. And we'll be here for you next year when we continue on in the new normal. So see you next year, and thanks again. Have a great day. Bye.